Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders are standing at a pivotal crossroads, and it's not just about their upcoming season. It's about their long-term future, their culture, and most importantly, their loyalty to one of the most important players to wear the burgundy and gold in recent memory. Terry McLaurin, the franchise's top wide receiver and a consistent offensive weapon since he was drafted, still doesn't have a new contract heading into August. For fans and analysts alike, it's not just puzzling, it's downright alarming. As training camp grinds forward and anticipation for the 2025 season builds, the absence of any contract resolution with McLaurin casts a long and unsettling shadow over what should be a time of excitement. Washington, coming off a Cinderella run to the NFC Championship, needs all hands on deck. Yet here we are, with a WR1 stuck on the PUP list, injured and unsigned, as whispers of discontent grow louder with each passing day. Let's not beat around the bush. Terry McLaurin is the heart and soul of this offense. He's the one player opposing defenses scheme for, the safety blanket for any quarterback under center, and the emotional leader in the locker room. Since joining the league, McLaurin has produced year in and year out, even while dealing with a revolving door of quarterbacks and inconsistent play calling. That kind of professionalism and production doesn't grow on trees, especially in a league where wide receiver talent is becoming more and more coveted. It's not just about the catches or yards, though. McLaurin has become a symbol of stability and work ethic for the Commanders, and in a sport built on chemistry and trust, that kind of intangible value is priceless. So why are we even here? Why is this dragged out into August without a deal in place? That's the million-dollar question, one the front office must answer fast. The longer the Commanders delay a resolution, the more volatile this situation becomes. When Bleacher Report's Gary Davenport speculated whether McLaurin's contract drama could seep into the regular season, it didn't sound like a hot take. It sounded like a realistic scenario. We've seen this movie before with other star players across the league. What starts as quiet frustration in the offseason can quickly become a public distraction when games start to count. And the fact that McLaurin is already on the PUP list with an ankle issue, that adds another layer of complexity. Whether or not the injury is severe, it's now tied into the narrative of his contract standoff. It's easy to see how the storyline could evolve. Is he truly injured? Or is this a strategic move to protect his future value while the team drags its feet on negotiations? Regardless of intent, perception matters. And right now, that perception isn't great. When a franchise claims it's all in for a championship run, that declaration comes with expectations. Washington made aggressive moves in the offseason, clearly aiming to ride the momentum of their unexpected deep playoff push last year. But what message does it send to the locker room when one of the most integral players on the roster is left, twisting in the wind? Players notice this, coaches notice this. It sets a tone and not a good one. Championships aren't won with talent alone. They're built on trust, belief, and unity. If your star receiver doesn't feel valued or secure, that fractures the foundation before the first whistle of the regular season even blows. And let's not forget, McLaurin isn't a fringe player asking for the moon. He's a proven veteran who's more than earned a contract reflective of his contributions and importance to the franchise's current trajectory. There's also a financial risk here that Washington can't afford to overlook. McLaurin is approaching 30, and while that's not ancient in NFL terms, it does raise the urgency. The longer this goes unresolved, the more leverage McLaurin gains. If he balls out this year, whether on a compromised ankle or not, his price tag only climbs higher. And if he decides to test free agency in the near future, there will be a line of teams ready to back the Brinks truck up for a player of his caliber. Washington would not only lose a cornerstone piece of their offense, but they'd also risk having to overpay for a lesser replacement or start over entirely at one of the most critical positions in the modern game. Paying McLaurin now might feel costly, but waiting could make it exponentially worse, both in terms of cap space and locker room harmony. From a fan perspective, this is frustrating to watch. Commanders supporters have endured a lot over the past decade. From name changes to front office shakeups to seasons filled with disappointment. Last season brought hope, it brought belief. It brought the sense that maybe, just maybe, Washington was turning the corner. Terry McLaurin was a massive part of that narrative, the kind of player fans could rally behind, wear his jersey with pride, and know they were supporting someone who gave everything to the team. When you delay paying a player like that, it sends a chilling message, not just to McLaurin, but to every fan who's been emotionally invested in his turnaround. The Commanders can't afford to squander that momentum or betray that trust. Getting this deal done would not only stabilize the team, it would also honor the commitment of fans who've stuck through thick and thin. Let's talk about football reality here. On the field, the Commanders' offense is built around McLaurin's ability to stretch the defense, create separation, and move the chains. Whether it's a rookie under center or a veteran QB looking to make an impact, having a receiver like Terry makes all the difference. His presence opens up the playbook. His ability to win contested catches and run precise routes makes even average quarterbacks look better. And in crunch time, when you need a third down conversion or a game-winning drive, he's the guy you trust. Removing McLaurin from the equation forces Washington to become something they're not, a team scrambling for offensive identity. And in a stacked NFC where margins are razor thin, that identity crisis could be the difference between hosting a playoff game or watching from the couch come January. We've seen other teams handle similar situations with more urgency and clarity. Look at how franchises like the Rams or Chiefs handle their stars. They get ahead of the drama, lock their players up, and keep the train rolling. Washington needs to take a page from that book. The idea that you can worry about the money later isn't reckless. It's strategic. You make the investment now because you believe in the value long term. And let's be clear, McLaurin's value isn't just stats. It's leadership. It's culture. It's what he represents in a city desperate for a winning identity. Dragging this out, nickel and diming negotiations, or playing hardball doesn't make Washington look savvy. It makes them look uncertain about their priorities. And that's not what contenders do. If you want to be taken seriously as a franchise, you start by treating your stars seriously. This story doesn't have to end in disaster. There's still time to turn it around, to sign McLaurin, show the locker room that commitment is rewarded, and allow the team to enter the season with clarity and purpose. It's not just about avoiding drama, it's about creating momentum. Imagine the boost it would give the squad if tomorrow news broke that Terry McLaurin inked a new deal. The energy at camp would shift. The narrative around the Commanders would evolve. The fans would breathe easier and the coaching staff could plan with confidence. You can't measure that kind of impact on a salary sheet. You measure it in wins, in morale, and in the kind of cohesion that gets you through the grind of a 17-game season. Washington is close, so close to becoming a true force. But they won't get there with distractions. They'll get there with unity. And unity starts with signing number 17. In the end, this isn't just about one player. It's about what kind of team Washington wants to be. Are they going to be the kind of franchise that rewards effort, recognizes leadership, and builds around proven talent? Or are they going to let a key piece of their foundation slip away over dollars and cents? Because here's the bottom line. If the Commanders don't lock up McLaurin now, they risk a domino effect of setbacks. On the field, in the locker room, and with the fan base. This is a defining moment for the franchise. The window for a championship run isn't open forever. If you got the pieces in place, you hold on to them with everything you've got. McLaurin has given everything to this organization. Now, it's time for the organization to give something back. Sign him. Settle it, and let the pursuit of a Super Bowl begin together. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. In what can only be described as one of the most shocking developments of the NFL offseason, multiple whispers and behind-the-scenes murmurs suggest that Cleveland Browns superstar defensive end Myles Garrett has allegedly signed a deal with the Washington Commanders. Yes, you heard that right. The man who has terrorized quarterbacks in the AFC North, who built a reputation as one of the most feared pass rushers in the game, could be swapping his brown and orange threads for burgundy and gold. And while official confirmation has yet to come from either franchise or Garrett's camp, the NFL world is already buzzing with speculation. Reports emerged late Tuesday night from a series of anonymous league insiders, with one particularly prominent source claiming that the Commanders made a Godfather offer that Garrett simply couldn't refuse. Could this really be happening? Is one of the Browns' most iconic defensive players about to relocate to the nation's capital? While skepticism is understandable, especially given the magnitude of such a move, there are reasons to believe this might not be just smoke. According to insiders close to the league's inner workings, Garrett's relationship with the Browns front office may have cooled over the past few months. Some point to quiet frustrations over the direction of the franchise, lingering questions surrounding the offense, and Garrett's desire to chase a Super Bowl ring sooner rather than later. With the AFC growing more competitive by the year, perhaps the Commanders, now under new ownership and in the middle of a bold rebuild, saw the perfect opportunity to snatch one of the NFL's premier defenders. Sources familiar with the Commanders, front office say this move has been quietly in the works for weeks. If true, it shows a level of ambition not seen in Washington in over a decade. But how does this even become a possibility, let alone a reality? Let's talk money, because nothing in the NFL happens without it. One of the more convincing aspects of this developing rumor lies in the financial gymnastics reportedly employed by the Commanders' front office. With a surprising amount of cap space still available, plus the ability to restructure current deals, the Commanders allegedly put together a jaw-dropping contract package that includes not just high base salaries, but significant incentives, performance bonuses, and even potential ownership stake discussions. Yes, you heard that right. Some insiders claim there have been talks of a long-term financial partnership that goes beyond just playing football. While this might seem far-fetched, we've seen NFL teams get creative before. Remember, Patrick, Mahomes' $500 million deal with the Chiefs that included partial team control elements. In today's league, the lines between business and sports continue to blur, and the Commanders might be at the forefront of this new wave. Could this be Garrett's golden parachute? If the Commanders truly pulled off this coup, what does it mean for the rest of the NFC East? Let's be honest, the division is already one of the most competitive in football, with the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants all battling for dominance. The addition of Myles Garrett would instantly make Washington's defense one of the most intimidating units in the league. Pair Garrett with Jonathan Allen, Darren Payne, and rookie sensation Jerzon Newton, and suddenly we're looking at a defensive front that could rival the best in the league for opposing quarterbacks like Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, and Daniel Jones. This is a nightmare scenario. The Commanders would not only have a lethal pass rush, but the kind of front seven depth that makes offensive coordinators lose sleep. Suddenly, Jack Del Rio's defense has teeth, speed, and power, and Garrett would be the centerpiece of that transformation. But how would fans react? Reactions across the NFL fan base have ranged from stunned disbelief to cautious excitement. Browns fans naturally are in mourning. Garrett was more than just a player. He was the face of their defense, a leader on and off the field, and someone fans believed would be a Cleveland Brown for life. The idea of him walking away, especially without a championship, feels almost like betrayal. Some fans are already burning jerseys on social media. Others are simply in denial. In contrast, Commanders fans are lighting up message boards and comment sections, euphoric at the prospect of landing a generational talent. Many can't believe it's real, while others are cautiously optimistic, awaiting official confirmation. It's a stark emotional divide, reflective of what happens when a superstar unexpectedly jumps ship. One thing is certain, if this rumor proves true, Garrett's arrival will be remembered as a franchise-altering moment for Washington, and perhaps a turning point for Cleveland. The timing of this rumor only adds to the intrigue. With training, camps underway, and teams solidifying their 53-man rosters, the window for a blockbuster move like this is razor thin, but according to league insiders, that's exactly why this happened now. The Commanders reportedly wanted Garrett fully integrated into their system before Week 1. They've allegedly already prepared a customized defensive package tailored around his strengths, with new formations and blitz schemes designed to unleash his full potential. It's aggressive, yes, but that's what you expect when you land a player of Garrett's caliber. And while the Browns have remained radio silent so far, some believe an announcement could come within days, possibly as soon as the weekend. The silence itself is suspicious. Usually when rumors swirl around a player of his stature, teams rush to shut them down. But in this case, there's only quiet, and that might speak volumes. There's also a personal angle to consider. Myles Garrett has always been a unique presence in the NFL. Not just a dominant athlete, but a cerebral, thoughtful personality with wide-ranging interests, from paleontology to poetry. Some have speculated that Washington's appeal goes beyond football. The chance to be in a nation's capital, near institutions like the Smithsonian and cultural hubs, may have influenced his decision. It's also worth noting that Garrett has spoken in the past about wanting to build a legacy, not just as a player, but as a leader and role model. Washington, with its historical significance and diverse media presence, offers a stage unlike any other. If Garrett was looking for a city where he could expand his influence both on and off the field, DC might be the perfect fit. This could be about more than sacks and Super Bowls. It could be about legacy, impact, and vision. Still, not everyone is buying it. Some league insiders remain skeptical, calling the rumors premature or overhyped. A few have even suggested that Garrett's camp may be using Washington as leverage in ongoing negotiations with Cleveland over a contract restructure. This wouldn't be the first time an agent strategically leaked information to spark urgency or create bidding pressure. But if that's the case, why hasn't the Browns front office issued a firm denial? Why are some Commanders players dropping cryptic messages on social media, fire emojis, hourglasses, and vague references to game changers? If this is all just smoke or mirrors, it's being executed with impressive coordination. And let's not forget the NFL is a league built on drama. Every offseason brings its share of shocking twists. Could this be one of those moments where fantasy becomes reality? If the Commanders do indeed finalize this signing, it marks a significant shift in the franchise's identity. For years, Washington has been trapped in mediocrity, buried under coaching changes, quarterback controversies, and off-field scandals. But this offseason, something feels different. New ownership under Josh Harris, fresh energy from a revamped front office, and now possibly the acquisition of one of the game's best defenders. It's a statement. It says Washington isn't here to rebuild slowly. They're here to compete now. Garrett could be the keystone that unlocks everything else. He brings star power, leadership, and an unrelenting motor. He can change games with a single play. And for a fan base desperate for relevance, hope, and excitement, this move would be nothing short of revolutionary. It's the kind of gamble that either wins you a division or rewrites your future. One way or another, Washington just became the team to watch. As we await official word, one thing is clear: the NFL landscape may be on the verge of a seismic shift. If the Myles Garrett to Washington rumor proves true, it will dominate headlines for weeks and reshape power dynamics across the league. It's not just about a player changing teams, it's about momentum, ambition, and the willingness to take risks. Whether you're a Browns fan devastated by the potential loss or a Commander supporter daring to believe in something big, this story taps into the heart of what makes football great: the passion, the unpredictability, and the pursuit of greatness. For now, we wait. But if what we're hearing is true, Myles Garrett in Washington isn't just a headline, it's a new era. Stay tuned, because this story is just beginning, and if the rumors are right, the NFL is about to get a whole lot more interesting. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.